Welcome to episode 2 of Resonate. I am Porpita, and I'm joined with Avari and Nova as your co-hosts. So it's Halloween. I guess we did some really simple costumes. I have my cat motif, well, cat ears, and then my swap partner actually made these for me in the Blythe hobby. So I figured I'd wear them. And I guess you're a cat too, Avari.
Yeah, I think we're all cats here.
We are cats.
Mine's from like a show series
Yeah, you're
book.
Chester cat, right? Chester cat.
Yeah. Hey, Nikki.
And Nova, you got a
I
kitty.
have some cats of club ears.
Very cute. I guess we all have cats too, so we're cat lovers, but happy Halloween from all of us.
Are we giving off like the crazy cat ladies vibe?
Yeah, probably, I don't, no, we're not. We're fashionable cat ladies.
Do you agree, Nugget?
Cool. So
She does.
episode 1 was last week, and we seem to have a good reception to it. And thanks to everybody
Yeah.
for watching, our podcast and giving feedback. We really appreciate it. So episode 2, Halloween. I guess we'll start off with who we have to showcase today. And for me, I got this doll recently, and I have her on my table, but I don't have a stand for her. But this
Yeah.
is Cecilia, and she's made by
I used
DollChateau.
to I used to have that spider body, so like it's a little tough to actually post them.
It is.
Yeah, you have to pay them.
Yeah, and they don't really stand so well like on hard surfaces, like on the
Yeah.
carpet. They tend to hold their pose better, but I'm not leaving my dolls on the carpet or on the floor. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I think I might try to make her a stand, but she is in the DollChateau gray resin, and I got her from a seller secondhand on Instagram, and she comes with the Cecilia head with the spider body, like you said, Avari. So this is my new arrival, and of course she's barefaced. So hopefully I'll be able to do some work. But I'll hopefully get her a face soon. But in the meantime, I'll probably start making her wigs. So yeah, so tell me who you guys have with you guys today.
Actually, Nova, you can go first because I actually have to go grab them. I don't
Okay.
have to put them out of the thing. It's too hot.
I have a Soldal MST sized crayon, I think is how you say it. He's from the Tarot Death series. He's a super limited face up for that.
Oh wow, it's really pretty.
He's in their lavender skin. He's really
Yeah, I was
cool.
gonna ask you because on the video it's always hard to capture like the resin color, lighting or whatever. But it's a really, really pretty tone. Is it more like purple than it is gray? It looks like a purple gray.
Yeah, it kind of comes off gray in the camera, but it's definitely a little bit purplish.
Very cool. When was the tarot series out?
Oh man, it's been out for a while. I think they're still actually even occasionally releasing things to it.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, because I know of the Doll Zone tarot series that I don't know if they're still releasing things for it, but I didn't know that Soul Doll did a tarot series.
Yeah, they have like the Hanged Man out so far, and like the High Priestess, and oh gosh, a couple others I can't remember. They have some cool ones out though from that series.
Very cool. And I guess he has elf ears too.
Oh yeah, pointy elephant.
Very nice.
Oh, I love him. He's so cute.
He's really pretty. He's a really gorgeous doll.
Oh, okay. Can you stand, please? No, okay. So
I know it's like mine. I'm like, can you stand? No, I'm just gonna put you down. Like, I get it.
it's like a trade. It's like a trade or something between DollChateau dolls. It's just they all don't stand on their own. It's just like you have to beg them to stand. Anyways, this is a Noah with like a Ryan tail. Yeah. They would give you it for free if you just order it with your order. So like if you do plan to order this guy, send in the order with the Ryan tail because Noah tail is just like a little nub.
Oh.
I think it's a lot better if you get this tail, if you like it though.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I didn't realize that it came with like a really baby like nub tail, but then that was a
It is.
promo. Very cool. Do you have any plans for Faceup or anything?
I don't have any plan yet, but I also recently got a Dream Valley kale.
Mm-hmm.
Or kale, I don't know how you say it.
Callie or K something.
Yeah.
I get it.
And they gonna be sisters,
Awesome.
adopted sisters.
Nice. Yeah, awesome. So it looks like we have some good dolls with us here today. So this is a nice moment to segue into, I guess, releases that you're excited for. And I know we've talked about Halloween events, actually not in our podcast, but in just our, Instagram chats and whatnot. So yeah, tell me what you guys are looking forward to.
He's dead.
Woo! Yeah, so do you guys want to go first, or you guys want me to just jump into what I'm looking forward into?
You can go first.
Okay, cool. Let me see if I can share a screen. This is going to be something I've never done before. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see, share screen. Okay. Okay. Hopefully this works. Did it work?
Oh, you found the website.
Yes, I did. I know. It was.
Oh my God, it's so much work, right?
It is. So a lot of people are really excited about the Dream Valley Halloween events. And I was trying to pull it up on the 1/4 page, but I don't think it is. And I noticed that their link is not to the actual home page. It's back to the main screen. But they've released these skeletal mermaids, and they're available till November 22nd. And we have Abyss here. And then we also have, I guess, Nierus. Is that what they call it? Nierus? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not. But I really like these skeletal mermaids. I think they're so pretty. And one of the things that I really like a lot about them is that the tail, they say it's posable. So let me see if I can scroll down a little bit more. But you don't necessarily need a stand. They actually just kind of stand if you pose them in a certain way, which is refreshing because we have our DollChateau dolls that don't really like to pose. But if this actually stands, then I'm like, this is great. I don't have to find a custom stand for it. But I really, really like this release a lot. So I hate how it's limited, because I feel like the direction a lot of doll companies are going is that there's not a lot of normal in-stock dolls. Now everything is always kind of a race until the promotion or order week is over, and you can never get them again unless they release them down the road, which I don't like. I don't like. I'm like, there's so many, and especially the Halloween events, everyone's always so excited about them from different companies that it's hard because it's expensive if you want everything. And I've been tempted by other companies like Peaks Woods and even Fairyland, but I can really only get one thing, right? So I like these, and I think I'm gonna order Nierus, which is the wow. There's a lot of pictures. I'm hoping can I scroll down a little bit more? So
I think that's the male version of this. Of this.
yeah, I don't know, because Nierus, I don't. Oh, is it male? I couldn't tell because I liked. Now I have to scroll back up. I'm like, gosh, dang it. Let me see. I think it's under special doll because I was looking for it earlier and I couldn't find it. So I think it's here, right? Oh, is this the male? I want one with boobs. I might have to ask Christina.
Hardcore lionfish vibes.
Right? I think I might have to ask Christina, can I get Nierus with the female bust? I can't tell. I didn't even notice that. I thought it was just the same, and they were just, one was open-eyed and the other one was closed eyes, and I'm getting really close to my computer looking. I think they have boobs. Let's see.
Yeah, because Dream Valley is kind of flat all around. So, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's a she.
Okay, cool. And I think it's just the eyes are half closed. And weirdly enough, I like how the mold looks with the half closed eyes, but I don't like how they did the face up on it. She just looks like her eyes are completely closed. But I really like how the sculpt looks. I guess they don't have it here, but yeah, I'm excited about that. And then people were also looking forward to the promotion gift doll, which I like as well, but you need to spend quite a bit of money to get it. Let me see. Do they have
And
a cat
I
page?
miss when it was kind of cheap.
Mm.
Because when Dream Valley just came out, I remember buying their 3 arms dolls.
Mm.
She and I got the Foxy event doll. It was really cheap.
How much
And
cheaper was it?
sorry, I talk over you.
Oh, sorry. Was Nova? Did you want to say something? Was it Nova?
Oh no, I thought these were really cool. The mermaid ones are pretty awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I like all the little pet dolls, but like now the purchase cost for all of them just seems like, really, really expensive. And I know Avari was talking about like how she got the Foxy doll, but oh yeah, this one over here grew. I was like, it's somewhere here, and I feel like maybe I'm not great at using their website, but Gru seems to be pretty popular. But you have to spend like $760 to get Gru, and that's quite a few dollars you have to purchase. And everybody wants a group order, and everyone wants the doll, so it might be a standoff there on who actually gets it. So I
Oh
think
man, that pumpkin guy is cool though.
I agree. I like the eye. I think I don't know if it's like red resin in the eyes. Like it looks like it, or they put like some kind of translucent thing in there to give it vibrance. But it almost looks like it's casted inside. So let me see if I can do more. Will it work? I don't know if it will work. No, it does not pull up what I'm looking at. So yeah, and then they also have Peanut, which is this cat, the Cyclops cat that you can purchase for an additional $130. But I still think that it's kind of expensive for like a little small like doll. Not to mention like this. I'm not a huge rat person. Like rodents kind of freak me out because I've also had rodents in my attic. But I've had a lot of things in my attic. But it looks like a rodent cat, which I don't like. So I like the concept of like the Cyclops cat, but maybe not with the rodent hands and body. It freaks me out just a little bit. So yeah, but I
Yeah,
think
definitely stylized.
for sure, I like the ones that you and Skate have, the little cyclop cat things. Those are so
Uh,
cute.
I actually have one of mine.
Yes, I love that one.
it's, which company is it again?
I think it was Fingertip Dreamland made those little guys, but they haven't
So
made them in
sad.
a long, long time.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted them, but I think they did one release and they just never came back or released any other dolls. So that was really sad because I would love to get one of the Cyclops cats. But yeah, so this is their rat-like cat. So yeah, so I
Kind
think
of cute though. Like, look at that.
it
Honestly,
is.
it looks a little bit more like a worm to me for some reason.
Yeah, it's uncanny to say the least. It's
Yeah.
cute, but not really, because that tail is like, oh, it's like rodent tail for real. Like, and those are like rodent. Maybe I don't have rodents, and people who own like rats and stuff. They'd be like, oh, you're completely wrong, which is totally valid. But it's like weirdly cute. Like I think it's cute here, but I don't know if I want to pay $130 for it. I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
in
fair.
love with it. So yeah, but that's those are, well, not those, but I like Gru and I like the little dead mermaid fishy things that they have. So that's for me what I'm probably going to lean towards purchasing for 2020's Halloween event. So what about you guys? Are you tempted? Did you guys place an order for anything? I think you guys might have done some group orders. What do you guys do?
I resisted most of the Halloween events this time myself, but I really liked what Fairyland had came out with. They had like that vampire Luha bunny, Phantom Rabbit
Uh,
girl. It was really
yeah.
cool. And
I
then
actually
there's
did not pre-order, group orders for them. Fun time.
Yeah, you did. Did you do one for Luha and for the little fee?
Yeah, Hwayu, I think.
Oh yeah, Hwayu, little
It's
Hwayu,
just different size.
for sure. She's really cute. I like her little special Halloween plate face.
You want me to share my screen of that?
Yeah,
Of
please
them?
do. So in case other people aren't familiar with it, although I feel like everybody always waits on like nails. What's the saying? I'm really bad at sayings, but they always wait and excitedly for Fairyland's Halloween releases.
Oh, you have to enable me for screen sharing.
How do I do that? Let's see. Because I usually try to turn off any restrictive permissions. Let's see, more. Let's see, nope, stop it. Does it like send me a prompt or something?
I have no idea.
I don't see anything. Let me see if I can. And this is like, why is it so hard? I'm like, oh my goodness, why is it so hard?
Technology.
I know, right? I'm like, I guess make co-host. Okay. Can you share now, Avari? Let me actually make you a
I
co-host.
should be able to. Yes, I can.
Okay, great.
Let me know if you see it.
See it?
Oh yeah.
All right. So that's Luha. She's so pretty.
I'm actually
re-
more worried about what they're gonna do for the holidays because they usually do something crazy, but I
Oh.
really like their Halloween releases.
Yeah, I feel like honestly though, I feel like this Halloween is a little bit tamer than before. I
Mhm.
don't know why. I think it's like they have been trying to like put out a lot of fantasy light dolls. So for Halloween, I expected like another release of. Oh, it didn't go through.
Yeah, those images are always broken. Like they've always been broken since like day one. And I don't know why. I've seen them like load elsewhere, but like never on this page when I try to access it.
My God, yeah. Yeah, so this is the Luha, like it's a phantom rabbit, but she's on human body. I think it's on A-line body. So you don't have like the rabbit parts.
Mm.
I kind of expected them to do the rabbit parts because I saw the ears and I'm like, ooh, maybe we'll have something new this time. Not new, but it's like
Maybe
a
at
remake.
least the tail, but they didn't even do that.
Yeah. And we have also the Huayu. I think that's how they call it.
And I guess she's a fox.
Yeah. They say that she's a little fox. Oh,
Yeah, these doll sites are never great. Like I always feel like
no, no.
ball jointed doll websites are just horrible in every aspect. Like just trying to get them to work and load, they're like not optimized for user experience.
Yeah.
I feel like it's literally the same how it was like when I was in the hobby in 2003. Like nothing's changed.
They're focusing too much on making dolls and not making the websites.
And that's fair enough. Yes.
Oh, I also want to bring to people attention that I know some people don't know that you can just order like a basic doll right here, this
Mhm.
area. Because I know like some people actually ask me like, oh, when is Fairyland gonna release another dolls so they can buy it, and they think it's really limited, like just these, and this is
Mhm.
all you can buy. So it's not like that. You can just order your own basic dolls here. They're not gonna have like the full set like these, but if you want just like a doll and like a head and a body, this is where you go to.
Very cool. I think it's kind of
Just
confusing because, you look at the full doll where they have like the sets and everything, which are gorgeous. And
yeah,
then they have like these, I guess, like these two-dimensional illustrations of a la carte just for the base doll itself. And I would probably be like, what is this, right? I don't think that I'm buying it. I guess I could if I clicked through and looked at it, but I feel like it
yeah.
could be clearer. And again, none of the images work as well. So I always feel
So
like
yeah.
it's not great.
It's not a great experience on the website, but yeah.
Yeah, and I think for the US, Denver Doll is the licensed, distributor for Fairyland dolls, but you can
Yeah.
also buy them directly from the website.
I can also share the Denver Doll website if you want to see that.
Yeah, sure, for anybody else who's new, because I recently had somebody comment on one of my own YouTube videos, and they had said that they saw my DollChateau Barbara video, and then they fell in love with her immediately. And then they looked for Denver Doll, and then they found her there. There was one in stock, and they went ahead and bought the doll. And I was like, oh no, did I enable somebody? I just feel like, oh no, it's so expensive. But they said they never heard of Denver Doll before, and they were really happy with the experience. So I think it's nice for people who are, at least in the US, and for some people who are not in the US who would like to buy from Denver Doll, to know that, if you're uncomfortable using any of the other sites, like Denver Doll website is a lot better than some of the other sites out there.
Yeah, so this is the Denver Doll website. you literally just type in denverdoll.com and you get here. They just revamped their website like a few months ago, so it looks a lot nicer than before.
For sure. And I think
Oh my god.
all the images of like the Fairyland stuff, it's uploaded there without any like broken images or anything.
Yeah.
They have a pretty chill layaway program too, so that's good to know as well. They have up to like 9 months, I think.
Oh wow. I think it's
Yeah.
tiered on value, right?
So DollChateau also has a Halloween event, surprise event. It ends in November 30th. I thought it was like October 30th. I was like, that's yesterday. But no, so they have Morgan. That's a new sculpt. She's kind of like Fuya. Like if you know Fuya, she's like a mermaid rabbit thing.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like that.
Mini. She's like really small. I know someone who I follow on Instagram, Sato Mina. She has a bunch of the fish. So I
Oh my
think
god, yeah.
she was tempted by, Morgan. Like I saw her comment, and I don't know if she's gonna get her, but she has an assortment of dead fishes.
I actually love it. It looks so great. I hope she gets this one because she looks so cool. Like, look at that.
Yeah, it's very cool. I think like DollChateau, I feel like it's kind of having like an identity crisis because their dolls, like I feel like they're not focusing on larger dolls anymore, which is okay, but like they're not really focusing on any of the like 1/4 scale dolls, which is a little bit less okay because I am totally like showing my bias here. I like their 1/4 dolls, but they've been focusing a lot on the 1/6 and smaller scale, which is cool, but like I like bigger dolls.
Yeah, this is the Fuyak scope.
Mhm. And she has, I think that she put hers, Satomina has like an X, like a dead eyeball in like one of them. It
Yeah,
looks really cool.
anyways, yeah, this is like the doll website. They have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, very cool.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, okay. So are you excited about anything else, Nova? Because I know we've talked and like fangirled about all the Halloween releases. But is there anything else that you're looking forward to, or anything that other than like I guess the holiday events for I guess Fairyland?
Oh, not at this time. I pretty much just stare at clothes right now.
Pretty cool. I mean,
Before
yeah,
the
like
ball
don't be
comes in.
tempted. Less
I have a
damage.
layaway going, so I'm just gonna pay him off, and I think that's it for right now.
Good discipline. So, okay, cool. So let's see. What do we have next? Okay, so I know like in previous episodes, the previous episode that we've had, let's talk about some ball jointed doll care. I know some of the stuff like maintenance and face ups and things like that can be kind of overwhelming for a lot of new collectors and sometimes even those who've been in the hobby a little bit longer. So what are your suggestions and recommendations that you guys have when it comes to taking care of your ball jointed dolls?
Oh man, one I have is definitely to keep them out of indirect sunlight because that will over time yellow them, especially like the fantasy colors or the tan colors. So definitely keep them like if you display them in a place that you know sunlight won't hit them.
Good advice.
Yeah, like mine's also keep in like my closet, which is really far away from the window. It's just like really hidden in the dark. I barely ever turn the lights on in there too. But also once in a while, you should take your dolls out to, just take them apart, inspect them to see if there's any mold growing inside. Because I have seen people with moldy dolls, and it's actually really hard to clean up
Ooh.
once they're there. So try to take them out like once a year, like twice a year, or something. Just like do the little cleaning, uh, dry them out thoroughly, put them back together. It's a fun bonding activity with your dolls, actually.
It's good to know.
Body.
Yeah, mold. I'm like, oh, like I guess you must live in really humid environments. But it happens, yeah. And I'm trying to think like for me when it comes to like care. Like, I think sun is something that people should definitely be careful of, but I feel like sometimes, like, if you do leave them out and your room does get some sun, like, that's okay too. Like, I wouldn't put them in direct sun, but they're strong enough, and I feel like they're resilient enough that they won't automatically just turn into a banana. And over
Yeah,
time,
it takes time.
yeah, over time, even if you keep your dolls in a dark room, they will still yellow. It's just part of the process of,
Yeah.
resin yellowing. So, a lot of it is like, you don't have to be in like a dark closet like 24/7. You can take your dolls out. For me, I have like, I'm currently working on my Mishang here. So she's sitting right next to this window, but I usually lift the blinds up and down, but I'm personally not so worried about it, and she's not in direct sunlight, but it's not like I feel like I have to work on making her wig, in the dark.
Oh yeah. I
And-
definitely display mine too. I have like a blackout curtain, but sunlight and light does get in, and yeah, you don't have to keep
Yeah.
them like totally in the dark.
I think that's what freaks out some people, is that any sunlight, they're like, oh no, I'm hastening the process. But
Oh.
realistically, it's going to yellow over time. You might as well enjoy it as long as you take like precautions to like not leave them out in the sun, right?
It definitely, I feel called out because I'm like one of those people who's just like, sunlight, it's cancer to my dolls.
And that's
I
totally,
legit only go outside when it's dark.
and that's totally okay if you're like a collector who prefers that. Like, but I've had dolls for so long that I don't like the dolls that I've kept in the boxes too. I've noticed that they've, older ones that they've yellowed as well. So it's not like putting them in the box really did much. It just, I guess kept them dust free, but a cabinet could do that as well too, And there was somebody, I guess like Requiem Arts, like they do patterns, but they also have a blog where they do a bunch of, excuse me, experiments. And they actually put some of the UV cling film in their room on the windows, and they kept like a doll out there next to it. Yeah. And then she also kept like she took one foot off and was comparing that foot to the one that was, in the sun. And the results were that there was no yellowing. And I was like, I don't know if I would be brave enough to do that, but it never hurts if you want to take extra precaution by putting like some UV film up on your windows.
Or maybe like that rainbow stuff, huh?
Yeah, exactly, right?
Looking it up right now.
Yeah, like she talked about it, and I apologize if that's not her pronoun. That's what I think she goes by, but for now I'll just call them Requiem Arts. But I see that that they tend to do a ton of really cool experiments with the doll, and that was one that they did that I thought was pretty interesting, just because of how, I guess, courageous it was, sacrificing one of your dolls to put in like the window that gets, direct sunlight, leaving your doll there, and then doing a test after some time. I was like, wow. But that did inspire me to, if I really wanted to take that step to, put the UV film on my windows. Do you see it, Avari?
Yeah, like I'm just scrolling through Amazon and just look at the films. The red window film is actually pretty cute. I
Yeah,
might get
Nova suggested that,
cute.
and I got it. So
Yeah.
It's
that works
definitely fun.
for sure. So yeah, so I guess Faceup. Let's see what else. Do you have anything else to add, Avari? I don't know if you wanted to.
Yeah, no, because I was gonna say we can. Do you like as a viewer want to see how to like restring a dolls?
I think so. I think that'd be cool to do like a feature, because I personally hate restringing. Like I
I
don't
love
like it.
restringing.
Really?
Yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah,
I
it
hate
hurts so much, but at the end, it's just like, whoa, I did it.
Yeah, I hate it, like with the passion of a thousand suns. Like anytime I've wanted to rage quit the hobby, it's because of restringing. 110%. So yeah, I think in a future episode we'd love to see that, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I can learn some tips on how to not draw blood when I restring.
Oh man.
That's almost impossible.
That's impressive. I'm like, it's absolute the worst part of the hobby for me is restringing. Like I've actually never restrung any of my dolls. If I do, I just pull the knot up and make the knot tighter, but I just leave them as is. I'm like, F it, not doing it.
Yeah, the elastic lasts a long time actually, which is surprising.
They do. But like because I mainly buy secondhand dolls, so sometimes they come unstrung because cheaper on
Shipping.
shipping. They could come like with really loosely strung, or the string would be broken during transit. I would have to like take them apart, give them like a little bath, and put them back together. And the hardest one I've done so far is the DollChateau Centaur body,
Mm.
the old ones, like the really skinny one. That one was so hard to do. I rage on it. I almost quit this whole hobby in general because of that body.
It was just that hard to string.
It was actually that hard to string.
I've had to string some of my pet dolls, and that's taken some really extreme patience.
Yeah, it's painful. I actually cut myself a lot during that stringing. I'm just like, okay, I'm selling you. I can't deal with this anymore.
Yeah, the pet dolls. I don't know how do you do that, Nova. I feel like once the pet doll is like unstrung, I'm like, ugh, game over. It's
Oh my
it's ready for. I'm just kidding. It's ready for the trash can. But
Well, I bought the Eve Studio Fox in a kit, and he comes just in like little parts that you have to totally figure out how he goes together. And same for that one, a Spirit Imprint Wolf that I bought. He came in parts too. I'm in
Oh,
the process
really?
of painting that one right now.
wow,
Oh.
impressive. Like I'm like, no, if it's not strong, I'm like, I'm ready to cry. Okay, cool. So I guess what else do we talk about? Face ups. I'm not a face up artist. I realize I have zero patience for it. I don't like spraying the sealant. I pay somebody to do that. But I do know somebody here who does like face ups. And Nova, tell us a little bit more about face ups.
As far as maintenance goes, they're pretty durable as long as you don't let the doll like face plant on something. But you can touch them and stuff for the most part. I try not to, but you can definitely handle them. But they're fun to do. I use a MSE and I'll do it in a couple layers and build it up, and then when I'm finished, I gloss over the top of that. But I think over time they last quite a long time. I have a face up that's about 8 years old.
8 years old?
Yeah.
It lasts that long?
Yeah, it's lasted a long time. I mean, it seems a little dusty compared to when I first got it, but yeah, it's lasted.
Oh wow. My doll face up, like I don't know what my face up artist used, but her face here, I'll show you. Sorry, my face so close to the camera. Like Rain, her face up is like cheap places. I don't know. I think it's because I touch her. I touch her face a lot to like take out the faceplate. I think that's why she a little chip out everywhere.
Yeah, humidity could be a factor too, like when they did the face up.
Yeah, that's true.
I know that like with like even with any sealant, while you can touch them, like generally you don't want to, just because the oils in your fingers can always break down stuff, and like you know how fingerprints are just gross when you see them on a smooth surface,
Oh
or
yeah, they attract dirt over time too.
yeah, for
Oh.
sure. So,
I did try to make like to do my own like face up ones. It didn't go very well.
I think it's
Like you said, like I have no patience whatsoever to do the face up, especially like the eyebrows. I'm just like I'm a block
It does
it
take
and then
patience. Like honestly, like the first 5 I ever did, they were just terrible. Like not even worth showing. I never even took pictures of them.
yeah,
it
I think
takes time.
you practice, right? I think with any skill that you have, practice is just do it enough that you become good at it, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I
With
think
face ups, it's really different too, just to be working on like a 3D surface as opposed to like paper or something. It's really
Oh my
interesting.
god, yeah.
for sure.
When I did it, it was weird the first time I did it, because like the 3D surface make it a lot worse because I'm used to 2Ds. So it's like my hand keeps shaking. Because my hand's already naturally shaky, but like it keeps shaking on like the tiny surface. I'm like, I don't have the patience for this.
Yeah, I think, early on in the hobby, I was actually doing face ups. Like I offered to do them, but then but like part of the face up thing that I think we should mention is that if you're using any, MSC or any chemical spray, really, you need to make sure you have the proper PPE. And
Yeah, you have to have a mask for sure.
yeah,
It smells terrible and it's toxic to your lungs, I've heard.
yeah, and you don't want to be able to smell it when you're spraying it, so you want to make sure you have the appropriate cartridges, the volatile blah, I can't speak, the volatile organic like compound, VOC, those, something like that. I can't remember what the abbreviation is, but you want the ones that are for spraying versus like sanding and all that.
Yeah,
But that's
definitely not your everyday face mask.
yeah, no,
Oh yeah, you can't even wear that.
for sure.
You have to wear like one of those that you see in movies where it's just like bulky. It has air filter. It has like a little filter on the side. You need that.
Yeah, you need the painter quality masks.
For sure. Yeah. So that's definitely something that we can include down in the description box below. I'll include some links so that people who have a Den of Angels account can read like this really awesome, like thorough manual that someone compiled together about all the precautions you need to take before working with like chemicals like MSC, so you don't like kill yourself or like any of your brain cells or any of your lung cells, any of that. We want to make sure people who are in the hobby still remain nice and healthy in the hobby. So yeah, like that. Hey, that works. Like for me, no patience. I can't spray and wait. Like I just pay somebody else to do it.
And we should add a list of like like I guess go-to artists, face-up artists for anyone who's looking for an artist to work on their dolls.
Yeah, for
I feel
sure.
like if you want, we can like include a little list. Anyone who's open right now, anyone who's like with like we can list it within like the price range of how much it is. Because I know some face-up artists charge a lot for their work, and it might not even be what you want. So we'll try to like get it in different variety.
Definitely. So I think if there's enough interest, please leave a comment below and we can see what we can do. It's so tricky because I know winter is coming and one of my face up artists will not do face up commissions because they can't spray outside because it's like freezing in Canada. Apparently she's in Canada. So, so
Oh, I
yeah,
feel
just let us
that
know if
it's
there's
actually
interest.
so cold today.
Yeah, it's a little bit cold down in Texas, but it's not as cold as, our friends up in Canada. So, okay, so like next on the list, like what do we have? Like, okay, so like do you guys take your dolls outside with you? Like, I'm just curious because I struggle with ball jointed dolls going outside, but tell me about it.
They're a little rough to bring outside, to be honest. Like they can get pretty heavy. The bigger the dolls,
Hmm.
the heavier they get, right? And because they made of resin, it adds up to the weight. Like Noah is actually one of the heaviest doll I have owned so far. Uh, I don't blame him. He has a lot of stuff going on. I usually bring them outside in like a little bag. I got that bag from like Dollzone. It's like a 1/4 size bag,
Hmm.
so you can put realistically, comfortably 2 dolls in there, not including the smaller ones. But being the stupid person that I am, I try to stuff like 5 of them in there. It works, but it's not smart, so it's definitely not recommended. But if you want, you should always bring your dolls outside in a little blanket of sort in your bag and make sure nothing's scratching their face, just
Good
in
advice.
case.
Oh, that's good advice. What about you, Nova? Do you take your dolls outside, or are you more like they're an in-home
I've
experience?
taken him out to like meets and stuff and also for like quick photo shoots, but I always try to only take like 2 or 3, like never more than I feel like I could handle. I
Mhm.
don't like to stand them up by themselves outside. I don't
It's
trust it.
Yeah,
stressful.
I don't want a gust of wind to come by and knock it over or something.
Yeah,
that has
especially
happened to my dolls.
that's so stressful. Especially if they have like a limited face up, or it's just like once it's chipped, it's like almost impossible to fix.
Yeah, I know some artists do fix them, but it's like they did
Pretty
some
hard
magic
though.
work and just come back to normal. I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah. What were you saying, Nova?
It's pretty hard to fix a face up once you've chipped it, though. Like, there's
Yeah.
some things you can do, like respray it if it's light, but it's decently hard to fix them.
Because you can always see the delineation, like that line. It's like,
Yeah,
like they have like a
impossible to
breakout or
remove.
something. Yeah, for me, like I don't think I've actually taken any ball jointed doll like out aside from the meet, but like I always like people who like we have a bunch of collectors in the hobby who take them out on like holidays and vacations, and they have like some of the prettiest pictures. But I can't imagine throwing my BJD in my purse or bag and like taking it out with me like on a hike. Like I feel like number one, they're just too heavy to do that. So if I do things like that, I've always taken my blinds out with me because they're small and they're pretty lightweight. But I feel like with like resin, I would be so like nervous about it. Like I don't know why it just seems more fragile. I don't know, but they're probably not as fragile as I think. Although I would not take this doll out because these little dang hook things are getting caught on everything, and I'm like, oh my god, I need to go and like undo it instead of ripping it out because I don't want to break off like a tip. But even like my Mishang over here who I'm working on, like she's so heavy. She's like the heaviest doll I own, and I don't know why she's so heavy. So I can't imagine taking someone like this big with me on a trip just because I'd be so tired. I get tired even just holding her up for a photo. I'm like,
I went to Vietnam for a vacation like 2 years ago at this point, and I brought Rain with me. Yeah, she's actually pretty heavy to carry around. Once like if you keep bringing her around like almost 24/7, walking outside with the doll with you, it's heavy. It gets heavy.
mm-hmm.
It's fun though because I can just stop at a certain point, like because I'm walking around. If I see something pretty, I'm just like stop, put her down with like a little stand, preferably, and take photo of them.
Mm-hmm.
People will look at you very weirdly, but after like 3 times of that, you just get used to it.
Yeah. I know that firsthand, like when I take my blinds out, like initially I was nervous, now I just don't care. So you hit that threshold where you just do not care what other people think. And you get over it pretty quickly once you do it, the more often you do it. So yeah, don't let, for people who do want to do doll photography, don't be intimidated by it. You will get weird looks, but like you can also ignore the people. And I know it's harder for some others, but once you get into the swing of things and you do it enough, you really do not care what other people think.
I've gotten some amazing doll photos outside too.
Mm-hmm. What's the best one that you took that you liked the most, Nova?
Oh gosh, there's a bunch. It's mainly just you don't have to worry about getting the lighting right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, it's like built-in perfect lighting from Mother Nature. So cool, awesome. So let's see. We've talked about maintenance and face ups. Avoiding the sun while being more careful with it. Also, when you take them outside. So let's talk a little bit more about like buying dolls. And I think this is probably the hardest. Weirdly enough, I think it's the hardest for a lot of like new collectors to know where they can get a doll from because of all the counterfeit or recast dolls out there. And even when you Google certain dolls, the first site that gets pulled up is usually like, a fake site. So where do you guys get your dolls from?
If I can't get them secondhand, I will purchase from the company, but I try to go through like Denver Doll or some of the other like dealer companies that are out there. But I do a lot of secondhand as well.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah, I used to get a lot of secondhand when I first started the hobby. But like gradually I'm going through the company themselves, and then I'm going through the agencies like Denver Doll or like Clover Singing or Alice's Collection.
Mm-hmm.
I have tried most of them, and I feel like Clover Singing, I'm biased. Clover Singing is like my favorite one so far.
For
If you
sure.
don't need to rush on your layaway, if you need like a a long layaway, you definitely should go through BJD first because they offer up to 12 months. But if you want free shipping or something like that, Clover singing would be your go-to. I like Christina. She's nice, friendly, very fast response. So
Definitely. For me, I always look for reputable secondhand sellers, and I know that when you guys mention secondhand, there are things that you look for in a buyer. I'm sorry, in a seller, but also in a buyer, who you want to deal with, right? And if they tend to be recast friendly, or they just don't seem to have any proof of you know proof of authenticity, then you
yeah.
probably don't want to buy from them, especially if you don't know who they are. But
Yeah,
I
always try
do.
to see if there's feedback too.
Yeah, feedback, that's
Um,
critical. Yeah, like BJD transactions, it's on Instagram, but I usually go by Den of Angels feedback just because I have feedback there for very, very, very long time. So for me, that's what I use. But I'll also look at other like feedbacks that other people have available as well. I think for me, like I tend to buy a lot new from companies because I've had some experiences that were not that great secondhand, and that really put me off to buying secondhand just because people are less than honest about what the dolls are. Like I always see posts, secondhand posts that are like the doll's in lovely condition. I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't tell me if it's missing a chunk of resin out of its arm, or something. So you have to like point blank ask people, what condition is the doll in? Is there damages? Are there scratches? Did you do something to the doll? Like without trying to be like totally aggro about it. But yeah, because like people are weird about that, but I want to know what I'm getting, and your pictures and description are not helpful because I've noticed too, for the less than honest sellers, that they'll say something like a lovely or beautiful, condition, but there's damage. It could still be beautiful and with chips, but like they're like, well, you didn't ask, and I'm thinking, wait, hold on. So I remember I actually bought a DollChateau Stacy from someone on eBay, and we can talk about eBay sells in a bit, but the seller was reputable. They had the COA. They had a lot of the original face up and body blushing, including the tattoos. And those are really hard to like fake if you're not like DollChateau painting them. So there was a lot of good proof behind the doll that I was getting that it was authentic, in addition to like the COA and the provenance of the doll. And I specifically asked the seller, I was like, is there any damage to the doll? Is there scratches in the body blushing? Which more likely than not, there's always going to be scratches in body blushing just because it's body blushing. And that's okay. But, I feel like that's the biggest test. Like, is there scratches in the body blushing? And they're like, no, it's perfect. And I'm like, oh, I know you're not telling me the truth, or something like that, right? Because like it's like scratch sometimes when it comes to you, like just because of where they spray it. And she told me everything was perfect. Face up, no damage. I got the doll, and the doll was dirty, and it had like scratches in the face up. There's like a chip on the lip, which we already talked about. Face ups are hard to fix when damaged, and I was like, okay. And then afterwards, like there was like dirt and stuff, and I cleaned off quite a bit of the gunk, but I had to be careful because it was body blushed and it had tattoos on it. And I was like, this is not what I paid for. And then I actually asked her for a partial refund, and she refused. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just send the doll back to you. I don't want to spend a few $100s on something that was misadvertised at best, right? It was not in perfect condition, which that's the term she used, perfect condition. And
Wow.
in the end, yeah, in the end, she agreed to give me the partial refund so I can get like her face redone, because I don't do face ups, and I wanted the face up she came with. So it was just frustrating. And, I appreciate the seller. She actually initially was like, just send the doll back. I'm like, okay. And I packed the doll up, and then she's like, I'll just refund you. And I'm like, I just packed the doll up. I actually packed the doll up like 3 times better than what she sent to me. And I was like, really? So I kept her. And then, but those experiences really tarnish how I feel about a doll. So every time I looked at her, I was like, the seller told me she's perfect, and she's not perfect. And even though I got like reimbursed for, the work to get her reblushed and her face up redone, it was just hard for me to move past it. So I ended up selling her. That's usually what happens. So yeah, those are, and I know I talked about eBay, but like eBay is a place you do want to be careful about, because we have a lot of recast sellers there. And the most reputable one, who is not a recast seller, is Christina. that Avari mentioned, who goes by Jiriyama, but they also have the Clover singing website. So for me, they're also one of my favorite sellers to deal with, just because of all the promotions she has, and she's great with customer service and everything. Although her site is a little bit sketchy looking. I know everyone on Denim Angels always posts, "Is this legit?" And they're like, "Yes, it's legit." So she's one of my favorites.
I will screen share I will share my screen on her eBay and her website, just so you know what we mean by it looks a little sketchy.
The
Yeah.
layaway I have right now with my ring doll boy is through her. Through
Oh,
Clover Singing.
very cool. The
Oh, no.
Inuyasha boy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
Oh
a
no,
I
my
actually owe
screen
her
is not
money.
responding.
I owe her money for a layaway. I need to pay her after this. And she's like, not like, she doesn't like chase you down. Like, so for me, she's like, yeah, I'll take a layaway. And I've dealt with her for such a long time that she's just like, just pay me, when you can. I mean, I try to still do it within like structured times, just because, that's best practice, right? And I don't want to ever take advantage of like her kindness towards me. But she's so easy going with a lot of the layaways. So is this the first time you bought from Christina Nova?
Yeah, that's the first time I've bought with her so far, and she's always been really responsive.
Good. It's always good to hear.
Okay, there we go. Holy shit. I got my Chrome
I have to
stop
bleep that out. You
responding.
can't say that. You can't say
Oh, I'm
that.
sorry. I'm sorry. I swear a lot.
I know, but like, me too, but like, can't say that on
Just
YouTube.
put like a little beep on
You
it.
know what? I think we can, because we're not monetized, so it works. Okay.
It's okay.
In the future, if we ever hit the point, then
Yeah.
we can't do that. But
We'll try to range it back. Yeah, so this is Christina eBay. She been doing this since 2004, so that's a while.
yeah.
Yeah, she has really positive feedbacks, as you can see here. She has like once in a while she would put up in stock dolls like this on her eBay only. I've never seen an in stock on her website. So
Yeah, I think she
she
separates them
also
out.
she also has like an Instagram where she posts like news and stuff like that. So you should definitely check that out if you want to buy in stock dolls from her.
Yeah,
It's a little sketchy.
yeah, like I think like this is fine, but I feel like her
Yeah.
her actual like website leaves
Yeah.
a lot more to be desired. Not to mention there's so much flash in her website that companies are like,
Yeah.
we're disabling flash at the end of 2020, and I'm like,
Hey, do you see the website now?
yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, this is her website. It looks like this. Oh,
Yeah.
she also carrying Tiny Fox, which is a branch of DollZone, but they only do vinyl, I think, and it's only in China.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so she's
cool.
carrying something very, very rare.
Very nice. Yeah, pretty much like if you want anything that's China exclusive or only for Asian countries, you
Yeah,
can get her hands on it.
definitely. Yeah, she's very catch up with most of the news on like doll stuff. As long as it's not like artist doll, then she has it.
For sure.
Yeah, love stuff. You can definitely check this page out.
Yeah, and if she doesn't have it there, you can always email her and she can add it, or you can just email directly to order from her. And I've pretty much done all of my purchases via email, just because everything I want to order is hardly ever on her site. So. Although I think
What
the
did you
Dream
order
Valley
from
there.
her?
I've ordered quite a bit. I'm trying to think. Let me look back. My Doll Zone bodies that I get.
Okay.
I got all my DollChateau dolls I buy from her, unless she doesn't have it in stock or she can't order it, because I ended up getting Barbara after she was discontinued, but Denver Doll had her, so I bought her from Denver Doll. I like Denver Doll, but I just like working with Christina because I'm a loyal customer to her. But pretty much all my DollChateau dolls, all my Doll Zone dolls, any Chinese company doll that I have. I also use her if I'm buying some like Blythe China exclusives or.
Oh, really?
Yeah, anything on Taobao or accessories and shoes. And I heard like it's cheaper to go through her than it is to use other services, but also stuff gets marked up and she just charges like the handling fee for Taobao and stuff. But yeah, I was looking at a pair of shoes and it was still cheaper than some of the other vendors by like $10 to $15 a pair. So she can order those as well. Yeah. And I like how she doesn't charge PayPal fees, because I know Alice Collections, I don't order from them, not because anything is bad that they do, but I just don't agree with paying PayPal fees, not as a US resident,
Me too.
when
Yeah.
when it's against the US terms of service to charge. And other countries can charge because it's not in their TOS, but in the US, if I have to take fees, then I mean, it pains me when other companies charge fees. And I'm like, why would I pay fees when I can order from people who either have it built into their price or don't charge additional fees? So yeah.
Yeah, she also, another thing about Christina, she also, well, responds to email very fast, usually a day or two, that's it. And she also offer free shipping. I don't know if you have seen it on her website. It should be like, wow, the first thing you see is so big.
It depends on the region though. Yeah, if you live in some other
yeah.
countries, she'll discount it. But if you're in like the US, I think Canada too, then you get free
Yeah,
shipping.
Canada too.
Yeah,
Which is really good for me, because usually like I dread buying dolls because shipping's expensive to Canada. Custom is expensive in Canada. But yeah, like when I order through Christina, it just, those things never happen to me. I get free shipping and the custom never charge me anything for her. Like I think she does declare full price. I want to check the box again, but yeah, I think she does declare full price. It just doesn't charge me for some reason. So I'm like, you know what? I'll take it. I'm not gonna ask questions.
I think she might under declare though.
She might.
Yeah,
I'll check next time. I have a
Yeah.
package coming. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, cool. So do you have a preferred vendor that you go to, Nova? I know you mentioned you buy from companies directly, but is there somebody who really has your patronage?
Oh, I definitely go through Denver Doll a lot because I'm in Colorado and they ship to me super
Okay.
fast.
Very cool. Yeah, and I know you like the mini fees a lot too, and they're the US dealer for it, so
Oh yeah.
that makes sense. So in addition to secondhand market, we've talked about like amongst ourselves, but like scalpers, bad sellers, good sellers, like any experiences that you guys have, any advice that you have for people who encounter them in the wild?
I always say shop around for sure, because a lot of times people will charge a slightly upped price, especially for like mini fees or like the Soon Petite gems. People always upcharge those.
Yeah, I think I saw the
Slightly.
leapy that people are like, how much does it go for? And then people are like charging like $430, $400, and then you bought it from Zoom's website, it was like $160.
Yeah, that was when I first joined the hobby, like my first 2 years. I thought the Zoom Tiny Doll was like something so special, so rare, that they haven't like released in like forever. So people charged it so much for them secondhand. But once I see a release and I'm like, oh wait, these dolls cost like $150. Why do they cost 400 secondhand?
At first they were really limited, like there was just one release of the little gray one, and then they waited about a year and a half before they made more. So at first they were really hard to find.
Okay, that makes sense then. But now I think now they release like every few months a new one, new resin color.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there's a bunch of them now.
yeah, I think like because I was interested in the egg thing that they had, right? And the egg was released once like 5 to 10 years ago, I don't know, somewhere in that time frame, and then like they never released him again, and then all of a sudden like in the past year they've released him twice, and it's like erratic, their release schedule. So I was like, and of course it got released when I didn't have the funds, of course, right? But it's just hard to say because they are limited, like you guys, like that Nova had mentioned. But then all of a sudden, you never know if they're going to come out and release various colors back to back or whatever.
Oh, it's so hard to tell with Zoom too, which sculpts that they will graveyard and which ones they'll bring back over and over.
Oh yeah, they're kind of finicky about that, right?
Yeah, it's definitely hard to tell with those guys.
Yeah, definitely. And what about like scalpers? Have you guys had scalper situations, or did you ever succumb to scalper or anything of that nature?
Too many, too
Really?
many.
You actually pay the
Yeah.
prices?
No, no, I didn't pay, but I have seen way too many. I actually did pay once for this one girl who was looking for a split, and she wanted the doll from the full set, and I wanted the clothes. So I'm like, okay, how much do you want for the clothes? How much do you want to split this? And she wanted more than half the price
Oh,
of
wow.
the full set for just the clothes, like not even including the wig or shoes. It's just the top and bottom. That's it. She wanted more than half. And I was like, I was stupid. I was young and stupid. I'm still stupid now, but I'm old. I'm still young. I was young and stupid. I was like, you know what? That sounds like a good deal. I'm gonna take it. I was like naive toward that. And I paid the PayPal fee and everything too.
Oh, wow.
Oh
Yeah, so
man,
I basically sent her almost $200 just for top and bottom.
it's
But it
awful.
didn't go through. Yeah,
Really?
like yeah, cause like the pre-order I think sold out literally the
Oh,
next
wow.
day, and she didn't send an order, so
Mm.
she sent me back my money. I'm just like, oh my god. Now to think about it, I'm just like, I'm so glad it didn't go through. I would
Hmm.
not be happy with that.
It'd be hard because I think like you probably would suffer from the same like thing that I have, that every time you looked at it, you're like, I got ripped off, and it makes you upset
Yeah.
looking at it, right?
Yeah.
So, did you
I
ever
don't
have
know.
any?
In the case, I have once paid the scalper fee, and I still look at the head that I bought, and I'm like, I got a good deal on that.
Really? What head was it?
I paid 300. It was about 300. No, I think it was like 250 for a 1/4 size head. It was the Bmong
Oh wow.
N450 head, the kitty head that's limited to like 25 only.
Oh,
In that
okay.
case, I was like, this is worth the fees. I'll pay for that head.
Yeah, I think
Oh
it's
wow.
trickier when it comes to things that are really strictly limited, right? Like limited
Mhm.
to 25. And if it was something that happened like years ago, then you're like, okay. But like for example, like for the Fairyland releases that they do now, if someone's trying to scalp like the body or whatever, it's like, why would you do
Oh
that,
yeah.
right?
I've
Honestly,
seen
too
some
many.
terrible scalping prices on some Fairyland event heads.
Mm.
Yeah, I actually the last event had, I luckily got it for such a reasonable price. Like I was so glad I got it because the after that, like all the prices for the pre-order of that head, the really non-binary looking head. I love that. All the prices for that head was they were asking for like 120 or higher, which I think is ridiculous because it's still in pre-order.
Is
You
that the
don't need
one that
to pay.
Chaco wanted? Is it the one that came with Sylvia?
I think it's the one that comes to Sylvia, yeah.
Okay, okay, yeah, because I remember Chaco was looking for that so hard. I don't think she ever got it because she always missed it just by
I
a
don't
little
think,
bit.
yeah, it's,
Oh, it's
I
frustrating if
feel
you
a
miss
little
them too.
bad.
They're hard to track down in some cases.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, yeah. I feel like that one head is gonna be so expensive later on because if I'm not wrong, there isn't a lot of them
Mm.
around. So I'm gonna give it a year. The price gonna shoot up to like $200,
I'd believe that. Like that was a
which
pretty
is
popular
crazy.
head, like
Yeah.
just upon release, and so many people wanted it. And I thought it was a really nice head. I always get tempted with the Fairyland releases. I don't have a mini fee, but I always feel like I get like sucked into like the excitement and the hype and everything, even
Oh
though
my
I
God,
don't really
yeah.
collect their dolls. But I'm like, what if I like it down the road, And so far I've been safe. There's not been a regret, thankfully. But for me at least, maybe that's something we can talk about now, is that like just in general, I rarely ever have regrets for dolls that I missed because there's
Yeah.
always going to be something new for me to buy. So I don't ever really see myself giving into like scalper prices. And not to say that other people who do pay them, it's not like it's not worth it, right? You have to decide if it's something you want to do and if the value's there. I've paid a lot for other custom dolls like my Blides. And looking back on it, I kind of regret it just because there's always going to be new artists out there who are really talented, who you can also support and buy from at a fraction of the cost. That being said, if you do want a doll made by somebody specifically and it's super limited and it's the only one or only 10, however what the quantity is, then you need to decide if it's worth that cost to you. So yeah, just for me, I'm like, I get distracted easily. So I'm like, I can find something else to buy.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that. I made that decision, I think a few months ago, like the beginning of this year. She's on her way to me now though, so I'm excited for that.
Very cool.
I will show her once she's here.
Yeah, we look forward to it. So yeah, that's pretty much what we have on our list to talk about today. Is there anything that you guys want to add to it other before we close out for Halloween?
Not really. The same thing as usual, you know. If you have any suggestion, idea, write in the comment. Follow our Instagram.
Yeah, for the latest announcements and news. What about you, Nova? Anything else you'd like to add?
Oh no, but I did notice that we got that suggestion to do elitism for the next episode, so that sounds pretty cool. Oh, I have Mr. Bonches as a guest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Very cool. So Tim Burton Lover 28 left a comment on our YouTube saying that they really liked our first episode and they wanted to hear us talk more about Faceups in the future. And they want us to talk in more detail about like the hobby and how it perceives and treats Faceups that are less than perfect or professional as like lesser, right? And I think that can extend to things other than just a face-up. It can extend to clothes, styling, all sorts of things. So in our third episode, we will be addressing that, Tim Burton Lover. So thank you so much for the suggestion. And if there's anything else you guys would like to see, please feel free to leave it in the comments below or reach out to us on our Instagram or leave a comment on our BJD Discord. We have it there. It's not that active, but we need more people in order for it to be a little bit more active, right?
It's growing.
Organize game night.
Yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Happy Halloween. Bye.
Bye.